Good morning. It's Good Friday. Jesus has spent the night in the pit. They've brought him up out of the pit. And they take him before Pilate. Pilate asked Jesus, says, "Are you the king of the Jews?" And Jesus' answer is very simple. Yes, it is as you say. Then they bargain over Jesus. They bargain whether they should crucify Jesus or crucify Barabbas. Pilate doesn't believe he's worthy of death. But Pilate can't take the political pressure. And he keeps asking, what do you want me to do with this man? What shall I do then with Jesus, who is called Christ? Pilate asked. And the people cried out, crucify him. Crucify him. There must have been an eerie sound there in the courtyard where they were at. And they've got enough people there to holler, crucify him, crucify, at the top of their lungs. And so Pilate, who's been warned by his wife this morning that he shouldn't have anything to do with this man named Jesus. But he's more afraid of Caesar and the political ramifications than he is for a person's life. So he brings a bowl of water out and he dips his hand ceremoniously. He ceremoniously washes his hand and saying, his blood will be on you. I have nothing to do with it. But before he released Jesus, he had him flogged, which could have killed him. And then he released them to be crucified. So this man who's washing his hands saying, I'll have nothing to do with it, has him flogged and turns him over to be crucified. And they stop mocking Jesus. They make fun of Jesus. They put a crown of thorn on his head. He's bleeding from all over from 39 lashes of the whip. They take his clothes off of him. They put a staff in his right hand and they knelt down before him and they mocked him. And what they were really doing, they were really worshiping the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. They just didn't have enough sense to know it. All this is happening in a place called the game room. The game room was a place where they took him. And at one time, when the new recruits for the work that had to be done there came in, they would haze them. And then finally, in their hazing, they killed someone. And so Pilate told them it could only haze the prisoners. And so Jesus got hazed in a place called the game room. It's another dungeon. Then they leave to go to Golgotha. And Jesus is carrying his cross. On the way, he's so weak. He keeps stumbling. He keeps falling. He keeps falling on the ground and his cross falling on top of him. And they finally pull Simon of Cyrene out. And Simon's the one who carried his cross on up the hill, on up to the place called the Skull. And we know the story of the robbers and one that mocked Jesus and cried out, "You could save others, why can't you save yourself, or save us?" And they just meant that one just meant take us off this cross, don't want to die. And the other one realizing who Jesus was and cried out to him, "Remember me when you come into your kingdom." And then begin reading at John 27:45. From the 6th hour until the 9th hour, darkness came over all the land. About the 9th hour, Jesus cried out in a loud voice, "Eloi, Eloi, lama sabachthani," which means, my God, why have you forsaken me?" You see, Jesus takes on all the sin of the world. All of it. Takes it on. He becomes sin so that we might not have to know the ramifications of sin. He becomes sin. And then with the earthquake, everything else, Jesus is run through the side. And Jesus is dead. The Lamb of God, the Son of God, was crucified, having done nothing but help people. Having done nothing but coming to take away the sins of the world. Now he knew that was going to happen. He knew how it was going to play out. But now he's dead. They put him in a borrowed tomb. They sealed the tomb. And Jesus is in the grave.